Hello there, crafty friends. It's Joy here for Honeybee Stamps. Today I created a slimline die cut card with no coloring and no ink blending, so it's going to be super simple. Now I'm using the Shoreline Scene Builder die set and the Marvelous Moments. This is a 6-inch by 8.5-inch paper pad, which is fantastic and perfect for like slimline cards and all, 5x7s, all that good stuff. So this is what I'm going to be using. I did all of my die cutting, and I want to show you for the ocean because it's a very small die. You can see on the card right there. And because I'm doing a slimline, I need to die cut this bigger. So I'm going to put this in my die cut machine and literally only cut the top part and not die cut that bottom part. I can trim that out a little bit later. So the first time I tried it, it didn't work, so I had to do it again. So I have that piece die cut. I'm sorry, it's kind of cut off on the bottom, and I apologize. I'm trimming down on the sides, and you will see in just a second. So the top part of the die is cut through. The bottom part and the sides are not. So I'm just going to trim that out in my paper trimmer, which is going to give us a larger piece of ocean on this die. And then I'm just going to trim with my scissors a little part that the die did not cut. So the bottom part still looks exactly like that small piece on the left, but now it's just a longer, taller ocean piece because, again, this is a slimline card. This die set was built for an A2 size card. Now my slimline base is 8.5 by 3.5, and it is a very, very light craft cardstock, and it has little speckles on it, so it kind of adds a lot to the sand. Then I took this piece from the Marvelous Moments, trimmed that down, and then I'm just going to trim the excess off. So that is going to be our sky. So we have the sky, the ocean, and the sand. Now it's time to add all of our components and build that out. Obviously the little sand mounds are the same color as the sand. I did die cut those fence pieces and the palm trees from a gray cardstock on the lighter side. I really wanted this whole card to feel super light, almost like it was washed out by light. Like if you saw it with a picture and it was kind of washed out, that's really the feeling I was going for. I think for the most part I achieved that. So then you have these cute dies that is going to give you like the white part of the water where the waves are crashing. And so you have a piece that goes on the front, and then you have two more pieces that go right behind it. Well, because I made the ocean larger, I die cut that one more time so I could lay out the white part of the ocean waves breaking. So I'm going to add one more layer. I'm going to add the layer that looks like that very first layer that I adhered. So I'll bring that in. Now there's also a cute piece that's going to show like the sun shining, the ripples in the water. And again, because this is a larger piece, I die cut two of those. And the way I hid the second one so it didn't look like I was repeating, I slid it underneath that last little white area that I glued down. So I'll show you that here in just a second. I'm going to put that in. See, that looked like repeating. It just didn't look good, and I needed it to butt up, but that little break of water kind of breaks up this little shiny part in the ocean. So that worked out perfect. And I like to lay my stuff out and really kind of get an idea. And at first I was struggling with, I wanted a lot of palm trees on here and it just wasn't going to work. So I ended up with two, but I was playing around with the palm trees for a ridiculously long time. And I'm like, I want the umbrella, I want the palm trees, like what do I need to do? But it ended up working nice. So there's two sets of mounds, and each set has two pieces. And then you have two pieces of the fence that I die cut from that gray cardstock. And you can just kind of see how they lay. And so I'm putting down the mounds first and then the little fence on top. And then you leave like this little walkway to the little ocean area. And isn't this turning out so cute? Obviously I'm laying things off to the side because this is a skinnier card. Because like I said before, this is created for an A2 size. Now you have your little cattails and you got tall grass pieces. I die cut the stems basically from a green cardstock, and then the cattails are the same color as the sand. And then the stems of the things I'm gluing down now are the sand color, and then the leaves are the green. So I wanted to keep the color scheme simple and make the like items the same color. So that's what I did. Now let's add all of these little plants to these little sand dunes. I'm just using Honeybee Stamps liquid glue, and then just adhering those, tucking them in, and creating this little itty bitty scene, which I'm in love with. I love, number one, the Shoreline Scene Builder is a must. You guys need to have this in your stash because the color schemes that you could do with this are endless. And then of course I love the palm trees and the ocean waves. I just think they turned out so cute. So in the A2 size, it's going to fit the 2 sets of mounds, but I decided to add a third one, obviously, because this is a longer card. So that's an extra. That's a little bit different than if you created this on an A2 size. The sky is going to be bigger. Obviously the ocean is bigger because it's a slimline card, but I love how it looks. And I think this is like, I think it can fit perfect. You could do this on a mini slim. I think you could possibly get away with it on a 5x7. I think you would have to be a little creative with how the water is going to lay, but I think you could possibly get away with that. Okay, so the chair is die cut from the same teal as the ocean and the gray for the little legs on the chair. And then I have an apricot color for the umbrella. So again, I'm just trying to keep the color scheme the same. And so the apricot matches the sky, which I think is so pretty. So I want to adhere that down. Nothing has dimension behind it except for the umbrella has a little bit of foam tape. And I used a low profile foam tape, so it doesn't even really look like it has dimension. And then when I add one more of the palm trees, you'll see that I leave the top part sticking up. You could add a piece of foam tape, and I probably should add a little piece of foam tape behind it. But I like that it's up and not adhered directly to the background. So I just keep trimming off the excess so I can kind of see what I'm working with and make sure that I don't get it too busy. So here's the next palm tree. I did trim off a little bit off the bottom and then just adhered it at the grass area, but that's what I'm talking about. I just left that kind of popped up and I didn't need to do a whole lot with it. So we've got our cute little sailboat that's gray. We have our sun that's white. There's some cute clouds, birds, 2 different sizes of birds that I did from the gray cardstock. And you can see how cute this scene is coming together. Now I did stamp the sentiment from the Seize the Day stamp set, and I totally forgot to record it, you guys, but I stamped it and did white heat embossing on the same color that I used for the sand. I wanted it to blend in, and I used white embossing powder, so it's very light, and in the pictures it's a little hard to see, but in real life you can read what it says, and it says enjoy the waves, and I used the coordinating die to die cut that out. So here I'm going to show you that. There's the sentiment. I did adhere this to a white slimline card base. Actually, after I was done filming, I adhered that. But look at this beautiful scene. This color combination to me is like so perfect. It's really soft and pretty, but what a great die set. Thank you guys so very much for stopping by and watching. I hope that you like this project and I hope that you feel inspired, and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye and have a great day.